Hello everyone, Zielsa on this side. Let's start with a brief introduction. I've done MSc Zoology, have qualified CSI and JRF with All India rank 65. Have qualified SET Maharashtra as well for the lectureship and one more exam for the PhD that is called as PET. Currently I am doing PhD at SPPU Pune. So let's get started. Our today's topic is subphylum Vertebrata here. Okay. So now if I'll be dealing with the subphylum Vertebrata, I have to go for that it is divided into two divisions called as Agnatha and Gnathostomata. So what does this Agnatha means? Basically, these are jawless fishes. The division Agnatha includes jawless organisms, especially the fishes. Now, again this division is divided into two classes called as Osteichthyrodermi and Cyclostomata. Osteichthyrodermi and Cyclostomata. But in the case class 1, all the organisms are extinct in this. And in case of the class 2, the Cyclostomata will be dealing with their characteristics. The body is long, that is what we call as eel-shaped body. The mouth is for the sucker purpose or the suction purpose, that is what we call as the suctorial mouth. So it's something like that, their mouth will be sucking something. They have one single nostril for the respiration and the number of the gills is 5 to 16 pairs. The respiratory gills are 5 to 16 pairs. Basically these are parasites on other organism, which means they rely on other individuals for their food. Deal with. Example, if I'll be dealing with like two special examples are here called as the Petromyzon and the Myxine. Petromyzon and the Myxine. Petromyzon is also called as a lamprey, whereas Myxine is called as the hagfish. Now, dealing with the second division called as Gnathostomata. Ultimately, like this is like a huge division because the jaw-bearing animals or the jaw-bearing individuals are included in this division. It is again divided into two super classes called as the Pisces and the Tetrapoda. Class 1 is the Pisces, class 2 is the Tetrapoda. So I'll be dealing with the first thing first. Here dealing with the class 1 Pisces or what we call as the fishes. Class fishes. Okay. So here we are having like one of the fish named as shark, which is Viviparous. If I'll be going for what is the meaning of Viviparous. So these are the individuals which directly give birth to young ones. And the oviparous will be laying eggs. Done. Okay. There is a special structure found in bony fishes called as air bladder. This air bladder is responsible for the swimming and the buoyancy purpose. So ultimately, this is responsible for the fish, for balancing the body of the fishes and make them not to sink in the water. That is what we call as a hydrostatic organ. Now, there is a special type of the migration in the fishes for the breeding purpose. For the egg laying purpose, I should say. That breeding purpose is of two different types. That is called as a catadromous migration and anadromous migration. Catadromous migration and the anadromous migration. What does this catadromous means? So basically, if the fish is migrating from the fresh water to the marine water, that is called as catadromous migration for the breeding purpose. Example is anglerfish. And if the same is take place in a vice versa direction, that is like the fishes are inhabiting or they are the native of the sea, but they are migrating to the fresh water for the breeding purpose, that time we'll be having example as salmon fish. Okay. Now dealing with the characteristics or like the class, we are done with the characteristics, we are dealing with the classification of the Pisces. So they are classified into two categories. They are chondric thighs and ostick thighs. Here we are having ostick thighs. Now, first dealing with the chondric thighs. These fishes are found only in the marine environment. So that is like very special character, I should say. In case of the chondric thighs, they are only present in the marine environment. Okay. Why we call them as the chondric thighs? Because their endoskeleton is cartilaginous. Their endoskeleton is cartilaginous, which means like their endoskeleton is made up of cartilage only and no bone is present. One more is like a special characteristic which is present in the chondrichthyes is that their exoskeleton is made up of placoid scale. It's a tough scale which is present on the skin of only the chondrichthyes, or we call them as the elasmobranch as well. We call them as the elasmobranch. The respiratory organs are none other than gills. And one of the special thing that their caudal fin is heterocircle. Their caudal fin is heterocircle. What does this heterocircle means? So basically, like if I'll be drawing a fish, something like this, like this is a fish and this is the tail. So this is a caudal fin, okay? And what I've drawn, it is a homocircle. And if I have to draw a heterocircle tail, I'll be drawing in this fashion. This is a heterocircle tail. So ultimately, please do remember, like especially in the chondrichthyes fishes or the elasmobranch fishes, their tail is not exactly the same. Rather, that is heterocircle. Okay. Go for. Now, the claspers are the reproductive organ in males. They are just like I should say, like the copulatory organs in the male fishes are called as claspers. They do not have air bladder. The elasmobranches or the chondrichthyes don't have air bladder at all. And if I want to go for the examples, that is heteroloetus and scoliodon. Deal with the thing like the scoliodon is the one of the famous chondrichthyes of all time. Now, dealing with the osteichthyes. These are the fishes which are found in the marine, fresh or brackish, but especially if I'll be dealing, they are found in the freshwater. Osteichthyes are also called as teleost because they have a bony endoskeleton. Their endoskeleton is basically made up of bones. And one more thing, they don't have a copulatory organ called as clasper. Yes, they do have gills for the respiration, but here the gills are covered by a lid called as operculum. Please deal with. In case of the osteichthyes, only the operculum is present. Okay, deal with. And the air bladder is present in the osteichthyes. For the buoyancy and the balancing purpose, the air bladder is present in the osteichthyes. Example, here they have given that's Proptopterus and Lepidosiren. But I can give you some simple examples as well, like Rohu, Katla, Mirigal, like Labiorohita, Katla, Sirinus mirigala. These are the special types of the osteichthyes of the teleost, which are bony fishes. Done? Thank you. Hopefully this lecture series is beneficial for you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much.